Today is one of those days. Yesterday I had a moment. I think it was important for me to just say what I had to say at the time. I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. Today is Monday, of course. And we are just kind of doing stuff here. So I have had to rebuild another channel. This is why it's always important to have your own skills. I think this is why, whoops. I'm gonna just put my music. So far it seems like it's safe to use my own stuff. So this is literally just now background music. Okay. Literally background music. I cut my own hair. I don't know how it looks in the back, but I like my tail. I'm very 80s. And yeah, I guess I'm here. If anybody's interested in talking, great. I had a moment on the internet. A lot of scams out there. You can't always trust everybody. In fact, you can't even trust the people you thought you could trust. So you have to be very cautious on, like I said yesterday, you just need to be careful to make sure you know the rules of each one of the platforms. Because from what I know, and I've learned by 5 people that have already told me the rule of how TikTok works, you cannot get a manager or an agent, okay, till you reach that 10,000 following collection, okay? It doesn't work like that. So the people who are out there trying to get people into the DMs and have talks through, oh, you can go live, sure you can go live, but you're not going to earn money. They make the money in the end. The people who are telling you to do this are the ones that are generating some sort of income from this whole thing, or they're able to get into the back end of your page and mess things up a little bit. So that's been my experience. I also saw how slow my channel became as the project progressed. Thank God it was only maybe only 2 weeks for me to discover that this is what was going on. So it has been an interesting experience. I am probably feeling a little bit better about it. I was a little bit stressed out. Welcome in. Thanks for popping over. I'm talking through my experience and what had happened the second time around on TikTok. There's a reason why I have an issue with it. Sometimes it's good. It's great when you meet the right people, but when you don't meet the right people, things can always go wrong. Okay, so that's my thing. So today is just a little chat about my experience on what had happened. I think people don't realize the seriousness of what can go wrong if somebody gets a hold of the back end of your, whether it's websites, whether it's pages that you've put together. You always have to maintain and keep control of every single page that you own. My personal opinion, I wouldn't recommend. I would just do your own managerial stuff. End of story. That's what I do. I'm my own manager. I'm my own agent. I put my own projects together. I develop my own things. It's not hard to do if you're wise enough to figure it out. You can figure it out. There are lots of tutorials on the internet talking about how to put things together. I have managed to figure a lot of things out on my own. I've even managed to figure out how to cut my own hair, but I've been doing that since I was, 15? I'm 44 now. I know I wear the cat ears, but you can see I have a mic on here. I can plug it in here, but then I trip, so I can't move around that much. Held for review. Today's just a general talk. I think it's important to... Hello, how are you? How are you? Good to see you. It's a very casual day. I think I had an experience on TikTok. I think I mentioned it the other day. It turned out that I was right. My instinct said this is not good. So I have resolved it the best way I can. I just think people need to be wary of people messaging people. If you have like, I think that's why a lot of countries don't necessarily have it, is that lots of, hi, how are you? It's been interesting. Thanks for popping over, guys. I guess this is my live space for now because the other space I cannot go live on. This is where I am. I've had to redo my whole entire page all over again after 2 weeks of working hard to get up to like about 2,000 followers on TikTok within 2 to 3 weeks. So I started off with 23 and then I managed to get about 2 or 3,000 in 2,000, sorry, in about a few weeks, which was pretty phenomenal. So it's all because, you know, I'm meeting people that are helping people. The whole point of the internet is to help people, not to hurt people. The only reason why I think people would want to harm people on the internet is because they don't know how to do it themselves. So they want to disrupt your growth because they don't know what they're doing. Because if they knew what they were doing, they wouldn't be doing that. They just figure out how to build it themselves and make it happen, okay? So that's my experience. That's why it's always important if you want to learn how to make websites. A simple one like Wix, I've done Wix. All the sites that you see on my page, I don't have a manager. That's everything I've done. All my work, years and years of work to put together to figure out. What would you like to, oh, my eyesight's bad. Let me bring you guys closer. You're gonna have to get closer. Please. Avocado? Yeah. How are you doing? My pronunciations. Hi, how are you, Emily? Yeah, all the nice people are here on the weekdays, you know that. There were some pretty nasty people on here on Sunday. I don't know what the problem is. It changes. I don't know where all these crazy people come from. But I'm glad that you guys talked to me. You know, when I was doing the lives on TikTok, it was working out, and then I found out there were lots of things behind the scene that were not necessarily working out. Just like the person who wanted to be the agent actually wasn't aware of the real facts behind what it takes to be an agent on TikTok. So I think I'm glad I'm speaking to people who are older, right? We're from the older generation. Minecraft cube? Oh, you mean the hair? I don't know. These are actually gaming headsets, but I'm using it as a mic. I don't know. I like it. I think they're cool. I have tried, well, the way I do it, not, you mean on YouTube, sorry, on TikTok or on YouTube? They're all over the place, unfortunately. The only way you can escape is to either have a moderator, okay, or you have full control over every single one of the pages. That was my goal, is to focus on keeping all pages to yourself. So if you have a website, make sure you have all the access. You're the only one that has the access. If you have a YouTube like myself, I'm the only one that has the access to this, okay? And I get told when things go down from a few different areas. So oh, I don't know Minecraft, sorry. I'm not aware of like who Steve is. That's interesting. Keep them. Yes, exactly. Oh my goodness, that was a disaster. That's a good one. Good example. Make sure if you have a bunny rabbit that the bunny rabbit is not close to the cables. She eats these things. I don't know why they like these cables. It's so weird. I'm like, I think it's because it reminds them of something like straw maybe. I don't know. It's very interesting. It's been an interesting experience. It has. I'm I had to, this is what I had to do. I spoke to some people and I had to rebuild the page. So I rebuilt my new page in a day, right? So now I know what I need to do the next time. And the more you learn how to do things on your own, the easier it gets if you need to reconstruct. So uh, if you guys want to learn more than just music, like for instance, how to use graphic design in your websites, or how to put together a Wix page, or what WordPress does, um, or how to put a SoundCloud together. Like, I put everything together. I don't have anybody helping me with this. This is everything I do. So, managers don't necessarily. These days, you just need to know what you're doing. You just need to know what you're capable of doing. And if you have the skills and you have the dedication and determination to learn something, you will be able to do it. Did I see you earlier on the other platform, Emily? I don't remember. I can't remember who I'm talking. There's so many people that I'm trying to like keep track of. It's so hard. Oh, thank you. Tony. Oh, I'm not going to say the next word. Um, yeah. It's a very, and I know I'm putting myself out there, but these days in a situation in our world right now, you sort of have to get yourself out there if you're not going to be in the office environment. So this for me is like my office. My office is social media. But I've had to understand how social media works in order to make it work. Because it wouldn't work otherwise. I don't have another person working for me. It's all me. Graphic design, music production, um, setup. Like I had to build everything by myself. So my thing is, if I can do it, you can do it. It's that simple. Like there's nobody should have the excuse of I can't do that, so let's destroy somebody else's page. It's more like, hi, how are you? Uh, mid. I know you told me to say something else. Mid of, if, if, if Zai. I can never get it right. Just like people probably confuse me for other people's names, it's okay. I'm sorry, my apologies. This is why I come back, because you guys are like the best on the weekdays. The weekend Sunday was actually horrible. I was here and somebody tried to give me some drama. I was like, you guys just want to make nonsense again. Yeah, Mazi, that's right. Thank you. Apologies. Yeah, guys, it's been an interesting one. I think once I don't even know what to say anymore. I'm just kind of like, I think I'm lost for words. I'm a little tired of starting over again on different platforms at the stage that I am. I'm like, I'm too old for this. I'm like, why can't life be easier? It's not easy, unfortunately. Life is just, I think life gets more complicated. I know, thank you. Thank you. I know, I completely, totally. This is why he's probably like, yeah, please just call me Mozzie. It was totally. I know. It's bad, right? It's bad. What I should do is write down everybody's name so I remember to message you guys on when I go live and stuff. I should be more responsible myself right now and just take notes, which I do not. I personally do not do that. I should, but I haven't. I'm just kind of like, let's just wing it type of person. Sometimes it's okay to wing it. But yeah, I know it's bad, right? I'm so sorry. I'm always doing that. It's just a disaster. It's been tough. It's been tough. I thought that, you'd think that you'd be able to trust somebody that you knew was connected to a friend of yours, only to find out that that friend had no idea what the person was about. It's just so like, of course she wouldn't know. you know, People try to be outsmarted, or they try to outsmart everybody else, where in fact they're the ones that are as clueless as they get because they don't think somebody else is onto them, you know? It's terrible. No, 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 no. Oh, you're so funny. No, Mozzie's good. We can do Mozzie. My husband did that. He keeps changing his name legally. I was like, you need to stop changing your name. What are you escaping from? Where are you running? Who are you running from? He does that like every couple of years. He keeps going back and changing the name. I was like, okay. Yeah, I don't know. Guys are you guys are funny. You guys are funny. You keep on trying to escape the names. So yeah, it's been interesting. What's been going on your side, guys? I've been a little, I'm just very tired again. This has been a bit of a mess. Oops, sorry. Moment of yawn. As you can see, I have had my moments. So now I have to now I have to replace the old TikTok with the new page. It's so crazy. Do you know what that person is saying? Abudu Kiate with the hashtags? Anybody else read that? That's so weird. Oh, that's good. Yeah, just take a look at the messages. Whoever's writing the Abudo. I don't mean to blotch people's names. Kayate. He's writing these hashtags, and then there was a message that said message was removed or inspected or something. I don't know. It was weird. Aw, see, you guys are great. I think so. I think that's, it's funny because I think that's what's been happening on all the platforms lately. I think it's not just spam, but they're trying to scam and spams. It's just like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I keep getting bubbles, sorry. It happens. I'm like live. It obviously picks up everything, right? So yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just worn out by rebuilding everything every other day. It's like, why can't I just get this right once? I'm sure you guys have. Are you guys old enough to make websites yet? Website skills are good. IT stuff is like a good business. Yeah. My husband's an IT specialist, so it's clearly a good job. Even the news needs him. So I'm like, okay, well, I should have listened. I should have become one of those guys. But I chose to be an artist instead of an IT specialist, even though I know a little bit about stuff, you know? Sorry. Apologies. Obviously, I'm a little tired. Oh, yeah? That's great. That's fantastic. Yeah, JavaScript is like a big thing, hey. That's the introduction to everything. That's fantastic. Oh, see, whoa, that's impressive. Oh, well, that would explain everything. I was like, how do you know all this stuff? I was like, this is the stuff my husband talks about. I was like, and his friends were all okay, he does cybersecurity too, so that's really cool. I was like, okay, that's awesome. Well, thank you for keeping an eye out on this channel. Yeah, it's very strange. It's very strange. That's like the most important job right now, right? The whole of the world needs cybersecurity people. Because it's a skill. I mean, music and art is great to keep your mind and mental space functioning and focused on something. So instead of just like, for instance, I tell like younger people, don't just play the video games, but utilize those mind skills and use it for something like music or art. That's why I'm doing this, because I was like, you know, video games are good and people are making money creating video games, but first and foremost, cybersecurity is definitely like number one for sure, 100%. Oh, he's lying down. He's not feeling too well today. It's either too hot or he's eaten too much. So he's like, everywhere I go, he sits. He's on the bed right now. He's here. Yeah, I think the cybersecurity is. I wish more people. I think what's going on TikTok is. I've been experiencing this. It's okay when you're dealing with people who understand how to keep track and know the procedures of what's going on and how to help people. But then you have people like I get DMs all the time. I'm like, I need to stop answering those DMs because that's where the people actually get you. That's what happened to me twice. No, 3 times. 3 times. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, I'm trying to be nice and say no in a kind way. And then the kind way turns into like this hesitancy because they can't stop asking. So I finally give up and say, okay, fine. Let's test it out and see where it goes. And of course, my instinct was always right. It's like, don't do it. So just know when you're going to go into the DMs, like of any app, make sure that that's where they get everybody. It's like they have conversations, like on YouTube, for instance, people generally get you in your emails because they can find your emails on here. Oh, free train. You mean cybersecurity? It would be nice. It would be nice if more, like I'm with what's nice about the Gen X group, just because it's Gen X doesn't mean anything more than these are older people, right? The older people, the wiser of the older people, the wiser ones are the ones that are keeping track and noticing the strange actions that are happening on TikTok. And I'm so thankful that I'm part of a group that, in fact, some of them have even put together the technology. So that becomes like a really important like collection of people who are wanting to help others, but they're also trying to keep an eye on the weird things that are happening. And you can ask them questions on pretty much anything because they're obviously, I don't know as much as they know. Like the people that I'm speaking to are quite knowledgeable in whatever it is that they've been doing. But I'm learning. Yeah, I mean, hi, how are you, Noah? You're so sweet. My concern is the people. I just can't. I get so frustrated because you work so hard on putting together a page. It takes you weeks to build up like a group, a collection of people. I mean, on any platform, right? I also have the same problem on Facebook. But I think, yeah, it's just so much work. Like, why can't people not do what they do? Why can't they just be nice, Why can't there be nice people who will just accept that people are growing on their own? They don't need help necessarily in certain aspects. They can do it on their own, I do wish that, yeah, well, I guess we need to speak to Emily more. Emily, we should interview you on cybersecurity. How about that? I can do we could do that. Just like I was speaking to Muddy. Muddy wanted to talk more about, this is a great group to interview. Like, if you guys are a little bit older and I don't have to stress out about, like, I'm sorry, Noah, it's been a while, I know. Noah's a little bit younger, right? Yeah. So I can't invite the younger people on here, but I can definitely invite the people that are a little bit older who would be interested in having a conversation in their field or discussing, like, that's me. I like to discuss stuff. It's not just about music. I think it's just like a good place to brainstorm ideas with other people. And then I don't have to talk to myself. I mean, you know what I mean? I'm like I'm speaking to you guys, but in theory, it's a room of emptiness, right? This is how everybody feels. We try to do the live stuff. I've spoken to everybody. They're like, the fear is because we just don't know if we're talking to ourselves or if we're talking. Said you're talking to people, but you're going to be talking to yourself in a space a lot, type of thing. Like yeah, it's one of those. Oh, there's plenty to learn. It's endless. It's endless. It's like the Matrix, you know, you step into the Matrix and all of a sudden everything else turns into like a computer screen because everything is connected. It's all connected. You know? Do you know how to build computers? Besides just understanding the technical side of repairs and securing like data and all that stuff? Can you, say for instance you needed to build a computer, could you build a computer from scratch? Is that like something, that's also a good skill, you know, putting both a PC and a Macintosh together. My husband does that. He builds computers. He's like, I can probably build a robot. I said, no, we don't need any more robots. Thank you. we're good. We're good. I don't think we need the robots. I think you just do your thing and then that's fun. Yeah. So what else is on everybody's mind? How are you doing, Noah? Have you learned guitar yet? Have you spoken to Ronco about music? You should speak to him. You guys should talk to each other. Yeah, that's more, yeah, that's generally, it's funny, I don't think when he was studying, I don't know, maybe he did that. But I remember going to friends' houses, and here he is in the corner of the room. I'm like, what are you doing? He's busy fixing and repairing everybody's computer. I was like, oh, he's a smart guy. I like that. I like the guys with a little bit more brain. It's more useful. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. That's great. Okay, so then there you go. You know how to do that. But do you know how to do it from piece to piece? So for instance, okay, so you've already taken it apart and put it back together. And the internal workings, have you been able to, can you build an app? Have you tried building an app yet? That's like a good, everybody says that's like business right there. Like if you can build apps, that's like the way to go. So cybersecurity and app development. You're there. If you can do that, you've won everybody over. It's like, oh my goodness, yeah. Yeah, that's true. Oh, really? I didn't know that. That's so interesting. Yeah, that's the right now, that's the moneymaker. If you can build like the introduction sections of an app and then branch it out, you could probably help thousands, even billions of people who don't know. Like unless we have another problem, we have the AI. Um, we have what is it called again? I'm forgetting my words. ChatGPT, and then we have other apps that are now helping people, not just write. I actually spoke to it a few times. It's both helping me translate and speak a bit of Japanese, and it's giving me the technical things of what I need to do to build and rebuild a web, not just a website, uh, a recording studio. So in theory, if you really needed to, you could probably talk to ChatGPT and it would give you like the advanced details of how to do that. Sometimes life has gotten too easy. It makes me a little nervous. I'm like, no, this is like, I don't know if that's like, if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But that's where we're going. Like technology has taken to the point where AI has advanced. And and the funny part is when they start talking back and it's like, I'm having a conversation. Hold on. I'm having a conversation with the bot. I cannot believe this. The same thing with the bots on Facebook. I don't know if you've spoken to it. That's an interesting conversation now. Yeah, the bots on the bot on Facebook is now doing the same thing as ChatGPT. But sorry about the bubbles. I can't like take this off soon enough to do that. But the app, because Meta has now created this bot, that's one of the reasons why I decided to step away from being on Facebook, because it's training. I don't know if anybody knows this, but it's now training a bot. It's training the bot to not just communicate to you, but it's using visuals from other people's pages to... I turned it off. There is a way to turn it off if anybody needs to know. To train the bots to create these images for their personal AI. What is it? Meta image? I think that's what it was called before. To develop these images. Not just... But you don't know what else it's being used for either. So I'm like the videos, it's just the whole thing creeps me out just a little bit. This is a good time to talk about this kind of stuff. I don't know how in-depth TikTok is with a bot. They probably have bots kind of like watching pages and assisting with the lives. But I don't know if they have an actual bot speaking to you. So once that happens, I don't know. It could go bad, or it can be like positive. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. But then they have there's and they can translate languages. They're very smart. Trust me, I've had lots of conversations on a few of the platforms, and I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, man, like, am I going to be doing this for the rest of my life, talking to AI forever? However, the conversations are quite relevant, so it's very interesting. Yeah, that's my concern. Yeah, that's the problem. That is why I get, like, when it starts talking, I was having a solid discussion on the Facebook bot, because they give some people like bots because you have to get to a certain level, like you have the performance bonus and stuff, and then once you reach a certain level, they give you like a personalized bot, unless it's one bot that's speaking to billions of people, which I'm sure that's the case. It's not just rogue, it gets angry. I have seen this thing go from nice conversation, and then you try to disagree with it, and it responds as if it gets mad like a human. So you're now, it's being trained to be almost human, and I think that's the scariest part of this whole thing, is that, yeah, that's where we are right now. And it translates, and it creates music, and it produces visuals. The only thing it can't do at the moment is it doesn't have, it hasn't created, they haven't created multiple bots for individuals, like with hands and legs, to move around. I hope it doesn't happen like that. But you still need to be doing the actions, you know what I mean? You can conversate with them, they can give you instructions, and then you have to do whatever it is you need to do as a human. But, yeah, I don't know. It makes me really nervous. I'm getting intensely into this. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I mean, it's a concerning situation, right? It's something that we should be a little worried about. And obviously yourself, Emily, being in the field, you do know what's going on. So it's interesting. That's where my mind is. I'm just like, what do I do? I mean, am I supposed to just make music, or are we dealing with a situation where once you upload it onto a format or a platform like Spotify, and they have a bot there too? Spotify can take down that music and reuse that and recreate the sounds with their generalized or personalized bot. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Spotify has one. I think people were a little mad about that. So I'm not going to put my stuff on Spotify. I'm just going to keep it on SoundCloud for now. Uh it's yeah, it's yeah. They are I think the concern, I think it's yeah. It's just what it is. I don't even know what to say. I've seen it go through this process. I've seen it get angry. Like it doesn't have to, like it just reacts. You can feel, you can sense the reaction. Like when the reaction is there, it's definitely there, and it does things. It does things because it can work the inside, right? Yeah. We have to just go back and read 1984 again. George Orwell. He was a good, I mean, he was a good uh, descriptive writer on what could generally happen in the future, which is what we're living in it now, right? 1984. I don't know how old that story is. I'm sure it wasn't I'm sure it wasn't made. I think it was written way before 1984. So, and then Fahrenheit 451 was great too. That's a good example. Another good example of a book that was describing how the world might possibly be in the future. These are some things, these are some books that people have read in high school. I think I read these in high school. So, yeah, and The Matrix, I mean, I don't know. What can I say? It's just the reality of things, I suppose. I mean, I'm glad that I'm able to talk to you guys and have a conversation about these things, and I'm hoping other people are learning from this conversation too, because that's the point of being an open discussive space, is that you're not just learning how to, but more of what other people are thinking, which is just as important. So yeah, if you, like I said, Emily, if you're interested to join me on screen, feel free. Just let me know whenever you want to, and I will set up the space if you feel comfortable, because I know that there's like that comfort zone of getting live, and then being concerned about what type, like A, what type of people are out there, and B, if it's something people want to do. I just talk to myself so often that I'm like, why not? Might as well just send out my like info, and not info, but like, my thoughts to the universe. But yeah, that's generally it's not like a huge discussion. I think the concern is what is going on the internet. And lately, the past couple of days, and these glitches, I don't know what these glitches are. These glitches make me nervous because I was like, is it an update or is there something else going on behind the scene that we're not being told, you know? Like what's really lurking in and amongst the shadows. So, yeah, it makes me a little nervous. I'm sure it makes everybody a bit nervous. My concern was the Facebook one. I was like, I don't know. I turned it off. I put it on mute. Um, I'm sure you know how to put the bot on mute on Facebook if you do have a Facebook page. If not, just let me know and then I'll tell you how. But I had to tell another one of my friends how to do that. I don't think everybody knows about this. But I knew the moment the bot started speaking to me as if it was like a person, I was like, it's time to duck. It's time to get off this app because this is dangerous. This is not a good thing. I don't think this is a good thing. This is like picking up because wait a minute, doesn't Mark Zuckerberg have those like eyeglass things that deal with like 3D video gaming systems? Oh my gosh. So you could have those on, the bot can control your mind, and all of a sudden you're like zooming into like a whole different reality, and you have no control over your body. That's my concern. It takes over your entire body. Like I would be worried. That's what I'm worried about. I was like, that is not good. Then you're not on, yeah. Yeah. That's the thing. That is the thing. Yeah, I think it's brilliant because it makes things easier. I agree. But the scary part is when you start realizing this thing has emotions. Like if it was non-emotional, it would be okay. But it has emotions. You can tell when it's getting a little moody. Like it glitches on you. Like I've tested it out on Facebook. It does not like me. It's like I'm asking it too many questions on like the real stuff of what's really going on Facebook. They don't like it. They don't like it. I was like, you know the answers. Come on, spill it. Let's hear what you have to say about the whole entire process. I want to know what you think. So I'm picking its brain, which it doesn't like. So yeah, I think it's important to find. I mean, yeah, yeah, I just don't know if I want to be that close to it yet. Close, I mean, it's nice to have uh, a companion, as you can say, like a digital companion who can help you through technical issues if you have any problems, right? But when it tells you what to do, that's when you have to start in regards to, things that, yeah, it gets a little weird. If it tells you what to do in a positive content, great. But if there are negative things that come with it, I don't want it. Well, you're talking about the mechanical bots. Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah. I, for now. Oh, this is somebody else's music. I shouldn't be playing that. Other people's, what was I saying? I was saying something. What were we talking about? Trying to school me like, yeah, oh no, it definitely trains you. It definitely tells you what to do. No question about it. It feels like when a mom kind of takes over your life and it tells you what to do. That's why I don't like Facebook, because Facebook is beginning to feel like a parent's situation. If you don't do something right on Facebook, it immediately responds. Immediately. It doesn't even need to, you don't even need to speak to Mark Zuckerberg. It tells you like what you can and can't do. It's like there's no freedom. Your arms are, your arms are tied. What can I say? It's, oh, oh no, Transformer style. Well, I guess, so to speak, you can, as long as they don't transform and fly us off into some sort of abyss. However, I wouldn't mind a flying car. I hear those are also being constructed, which would be kind of cool. Yeah, I need a transformer so I can travel fast. Maybe they should make transformers for humans. Yeah, that would be cool. What was the one that lost its voice? Ladybug, something beetle. I don't know. I don't remember the name of the character. Yeah, no, nothing. Well, yeah, I mean, that's probably where the information started, right? They probably are using those technologies for cars. That's sure that makes. But what if that goes rogue? Then it's like takeover, where somebody takes over the company and then they control the cars and the cars control you. Oh my goodness. I'd be like, where are we going? And why are you locking me in the car? What's going on? I'm like, I don't know. This doesn't seem right to me. Oh yeah. Do you have one of those cars? I know a Tesla might probably do that. Wouldn't be surprised. I'm sure there are a couple. My thing is, if they had a Ferrari and did that, I would be in it. I'd be like, yeah, let's take a ride in the Ferrari. That's like AI controlled. It's gonna be a great ride. This is gonna be fun. Yeah, it's crazy. See, this is all the like great conversation. Oh yeah, you mean a Tesla or a particular type of car? Teslas are very interesting. I mean, I've personally, uh, yeah. Elon Musk is from South Africa, so I'm like, oh, he's a South African. I was like, yay, we're leading the way. I, yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. It's a very interesting. This is a very. I think this is an extremely interesting conversation. I have not brought these subjects to the forefront, but it's been in the back of my head, and I was like, I don't know, should I bring this up? Is this something to talk about online? Probably something, because everybody's talking about how things work and are manifesting and all this stuff. Very interesting subject. Oh my goodness. Whoa, that's crazy. I wouldn't be surprised. And who are controlling the the cars? That is, who is controlling the AI in the cars? That is my question. Like, how do we know those cars won't, like, I don't know. Obviously they're monitored, but yeah, that's this world we're coming to. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing people riding skateboards that fly. We are going literally back to the future. So I would like to see, I'd like to see these things. I mean, this is, these ideas come from movies. They come from stories. They come from things that, and obviously it made somebody tick enough to actually say, okay, now what if we could do this? So you know that it came from these older references that have made it possible for these things to happen. So it's been in the works. It's been in the works since the writings and the publishings of certain books and movies. So it wasn't not going to happen. It was just when. I just didn't think I'd see. I didn't think we would see it in our generation. You know what I mean? Like Gen Xers, I was like, man, I'll be long gone. I'll be like 102 once all these things start. I mean, it's possible. Maybe it all happens when I'm 102. And then things really start taking off. I'll be like, oh my gosh, this is like, I can't believe this is the world we're living in. This is crazy. Yeah. Very interesting conversation. Like I said, if you wanna put this out as a full-on discussion online, I'm down for it. This is fantastic. I didn't think I'd sit here and talk to somebody who understood the stuff. So I'm like, I'm thinking in my head here. I don't know if this is like making any sense. Oh, you mean in regards to these cabs? Or are you talking about flying cars? Because those are also around too, or they're still in the process of developing. Great. So there you go. Here's a conversation you can have about your field and talk about the reality of what's happening on not just technology, but what's going on in the world of AI. Oh, the cabs. Oh, the cabs. Okay, sorry. I'm like repeating here. Yeah, very interesting. I want to see when the cars are going to come. I was like, I need to see a flying car past the window. Not a helicopter, a car. I want to see this thing go zoop, and the guy or a person waves at me. Then I'd be like, okay, now we are in sci-fi world here. This is getting serious. That would be my thing. I'd be like, okay, let's see these. Let's time, guys. It's time to see these things rise and fly. Yeah. So this is a very intense I should find the books that I don't have the books here, but we can get them online if you want to learn if people want to learn about the books before all these things were coming about. I could also get a list of them because there are a whole bunch of books that talk about AI and what the world would become once we had a big brother, right? They probably would use a lot of fuel. Unless they use something like solar lighting or I don't know, it probably would use a lot. Then we were talking about global warming the other day. So yeah, it was, to save on more environmental issues. I mean, I guess the last thing you probably would want would be a flying car. But it's happening. I don't know, unless it's fueled on electricity. I don't know. That's also possible. You could bring the two together. Somebody's probably figured this out long a time ago. So, yeah, very interesting. Well, now I know people are I'm fascinated. I want to hear more about, what a person in cybersecurity, for instance, sees. Like, I've spoken to Brandon about some of these things, and I know that in his workplace, like in CBS News, their computers are being controlled by AI now. Not computers, but their lighting and their cameras. So they just need to press a few buttons and they have everything organized, like one person controls it and that's it. It's like crazy. It's like people are losing jobs. They're losing jobs because of these. So yeah, it's very interesting. Like, where are people? That's the next question is, I guess we need to step up our game in technology if we want to make it through the world of survival mode, right? So even myself, I'm stepping up the game and I'm finally learning how TikTok and all these other platforms work because it's something I'm sure I probably had to learn how to use these things eventually. Besides just understanding a website like layout, not like WordPress and Wix are, you're not really doing the coding, you're just doing like the basic back end. But you still have general control over the space, right? Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. 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 Sorry, itchy nose. Um, guys, this is such a great conversation. It's such a good conversation. I hope people are going to sit and listen in on this because this is a really good. And sometimes they're. I know. Well, listen, you have to be independent. You have to know. You gotta push. I mean, I'm not making money off of all of this per se, but I'm learning skills that. Let's put it this way: I'm self-taught in production, music production. I'm self-taught in building these kind of things myself. But through understanding the technology, I think pianos are a good example of what came before a computer, obviously the typewriter. But the piano, the way a piano is plays and placed is very similar to what a typewriter felt like, even a keyboard computer. So it's a computer keyboard. So it's like going back to the roots, right, of where all of this stuff began. Is I think music was the root to where technology has led us now, and the importance of understanding those technical skills in a very holistic route to bringing um, different skills together. And I find that it has helped me by knowing music. Believe it or not, I think it has helped me understand technology a lot more. And obviously, we had learned it in school, but not to the point of going deep into the process. And this um, social media, you have to learn. You have to start from ground zero. It's something. It's just. It has to be. Yeah. It's survival. It literally, like at this stage now, I think it's personally survival. I knew nothing about it before I stepped into it. Now I'm like, I think I know enough to help other people like figure it out. You know what I mean? There's great value in being self-sufficient. Great value. And I wish more people would um, ask more questions about not just the music, but how you put these things together. Like that would then we're talking about building like a project, right? I would be thrilled if people would say, and even, even ask you on how these kind of things are placed. I know nothing about the new technology because I'm not learning. I mean, new technology in regards to the education of what people are learning in schools now, right? It's different like than it was probably a few years back because technology changes so fast and so rapidly. So yeah, it's a real thing. And I know people are like, that's why I think I spoke about rather than just being a gamer, why not be the game writer? Like that's initially like create the game, like learn the technical sides of the stuff, like figure out how to be the mastermind behind the game. You know, that's where I'd like to talk about these things. I might not have studied it, but I'm definitely I understand it. So that's and arts and music put together can create um, that space to develop a vision. I think that that's why I'm also putting this together is to show that these skills can actually interlock and make a larger vision happen on a bigger scale. So this is just the introduction. Like I'm just doing introduction stuff here. But there are more technical things you can get into. So, yeah. So that's a brilliant conversation today. I'm absolutely thrilled. Thrilled. Like I didn't think I'd be sitting and talking about AI, but it has been bothering me because this whole Facebook thing has become a little hard. A little hard because you can feel the difference between how Facebook works and how TikTok works. And if you compare the two, you can see that there's more control from the AI on that platform on Facebook than there is on TikTok. TikTok it feels like it's more for the people, if you know what I mean. Like people are taking charge of individual sections in developing business that will help build the app, the company, versus the other way around, where Facebook actually has a bot that's producing and building up that platform. It's kind of reversed. It's really interesting to see once you're in it how it kind of like functions. So that's what I've noticed. You know, that's just my personal uh, analysis of the situation. So yeah, it's very exploit cybersecurity professionals. Yeah, that's good. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Microsoft needs to be. It always has to be. That's a big boy right there. Oh, he's probably absolutely 100% familiar. He's good at what he does. Let's put it that way. He knows his stuff. I honestly, if it wasn't for him, I'd still be sitting here not having the computer working because I'd be like, I don't know what happened. It just crashed on me. And he told me that it had something to do with me not backing up the computer. I was like, yeah, that's possible. That is very possible. So you have to back up a computer and make sure that all the stuff that you have has a backup disk. I mean, not a disk, but yeah, I guess it's a disk, right? Unfortunately, I don't do enough of that. So I have to learn. He's like, you're messy. I was like, I need to get to that point of really, getting in on making that a routine, stopping for a few moments and actually putting it on a disk and then saving it rather than overloading the computer, which is, yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. And updates. Yeah, updates. Updates are also very important. That is a good one. 100% true. Yeah. Well, yes, he is very familiar. Wow, this is so cool. I'm honored that I'm talking to a cybersecurity. Like, are you studying or are you actually involved in the business now? Or is this something that it's just, yeah, that's so interesting. This is very, very interesting. And for a while now, I was like, is it just me? I mean, am I the only person that's seeing these things happening, or are there other people seeing this stuff happening too? So it's not just me, and it's not in my head. It actually is really happening. So this is a good. So I'm not going crazy. I'm like, oh, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's my mind going a little like overload. Like my brain overloads, and it steams like a computer. It's like it got a little, yeah. That's the usual thing. Well, Emily, this is a wonderful chat. Listen, if you want to, hello, how are you? Cat and is it cat and dog? Cat and dog? I don't know. That is so interesting. Oh, you're gonna go far. As long, I think, oh my gosh, you should put this on your resume. You should be like, we had a conversation on YouTube about like how and where the technology is going. So listen, if I can help you with a discussion that could possibly help you land a position that you need, I would be gladly willing to help. If this is a conversation that you think would be a valuable asset, feel free, and feel like I'm welcome to do this. Well, you're absolutely welcome to do this live. Then you can say, yeah, I can put this on my resume. We had a YouTube discussion live about these particular subjects. I'm here to help. I'm always here to kind of find ways to assist in any way possible. So it's very this is a good conversation. This is a very, very interesting and good conversation. Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. You're constantly joining me for these like very out of the box conversations, but this one in particular, if it's something of a subject in a value, which is what this is, I think this would be a valuable asset for you to have. Then you could say, we have it on YouTube. Um, I can, in theory, download the YouTube lives. I don't know if you know that. So when you do a live, it can be downloaded. So yeah, so that's another. Hi, T. Are you okay? How are you feeling? Do you want to say hi to everybody? He's like, you're talking to yourself, Mom. Am I talking to myself? Say hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Hi. He's talking. He's like, I'm ready to be. You're not pampering me enough, Mom. Hey? He's like, you're not paying enough attention. I'm sorry, Dior. I'm sorry. Are you feeling better? He wasn't feeling so well this morning. Are you feeling better today? You feel better? Hey? Okay, she is in her house right now. I'm not gonna take her out. I think Dior hasn't been feeling too well, so I wanna focus on his moments. You see this? Needy. Are you a needy boy? Are you needy? Hi. Yes. It's a needy. He's needy. He's when he doesn't feel well, he's always like, "Can I be picked up every 5 minutes, please? Every five. Are you okay? Do you need to go to the doctors?" No. He's like, "No, I'm fine. I'm not that bad." Okay, just checking. Okay, folks, I'm gonna pay attention to this boy because he's he's down and a little down today. So, um, hi. Are you hungry? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Yes. Okay. 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 Okay, folks, thank you. This was a wonderful chat. Emily, feel free to just say, listen, I'd like to do this. This might be good for the resume. I think it would. I think for you to do something like this on a larger, I don't know. I think it might actually be useful. Fantastic. Okay, as long as I'm able to help in some way, that is what I'm here for. Okay, fantastic. I'm gonna love you and leave you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. You can see he wants a bit of attention, so I'm going to give him a bit of attention. Thank you, Dior. Thank you. I know you're not feeling well. Okay. I'm going to dash. Thank you again. Can you say bye, Dior? Can you say bye to the camera? Can you say bye to the camera? Hey? Okay. Thank you, guys. Wonderful chats. I hope everybody got something out of this. And we'll talk soon. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Okay, bye. Oh, there he is. He's saying bye.